Hey what's up guys, it's Red here with another Chainsaw Man video, and hopefully I don't get a copyright strike, so I'm gonna try to play it safe, cause this happened with my OG Death Devil reveal video and the chapter 209 short, which is why I stopped doing the shorts. Though, when the Chainsaw Man movie comes out, I'll do a short about me glazing it after watching it, and potentially showing off my Pochita popcorn bucket if my local movie theater has it. And speaking of trying to get the popcorn bucket, why not subscribe my channel to help me reach 2K sometime soon, and if I'm lucky, maybe by the end of the year. And, if you want to support me some more, why not become a channel member or even super chat me to help me and this channel out. You don't need to do it, but I need to fund my gacha soda and SHF figure addiction. Plus, I want to play Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave and, buy that Pochita popcorn bucket. But whatever, let's get into the video. So this video will pretty much be split into two different sections. The first will be recapping the chapter. I don't really need to do it, but I think it'll be fun. And the second section will be me speculating about, the alley, the dream, and stuff like Asa's mom. I'm also doing this video because Fujimoto decided to edge us again and leave us off with a cliffhanger, not to mention that the chapter will be next week from the upload of this video because, it's a break week. So yeah, let's get into the quick recap. So this chapter mainly consisted of Pochita and Yoru fighting. Honestly, it's a super cool and awesome fight, even though there isn't much dialogue in it, since Pochita doesn't speak. But this fight also showcased the Accident Devil. And apparently the more accurate name is the Car Accident Devil, but whatever. And Yoru turned the Accident Devil into a chainsaw whip. Using a whip on the Black Chainsaw Man after declaring your love for America? Very suspicious, Yoru. I'm kidding, by the way. I don't think it's that deep. While there are a lot of things in the series that are deep / have deeper symbolism, I just don't think that it's the case for, the chainsaw whip. Anyways, a bigger reveal was Yoru's contract with the governor of California. In-N-Out mentioned, and that's my state. In-N-Out is the best fast food burger place, and I'm not going to argue. I even like the fries, as controversial as that is. But anyways, Yoru practically got the same contract as Makima, with anytime Yoru dies, her death will be transferred to a Californian. Which is a good thing. I wasn't born then. And also, I would probably be born in the Chainsaw Man world if it ever goes to 2004. Since my parents, while living in Cali, weren't technically full US citizens then. So maybe their lives would have been spared. Or maybe not, since they were still, citizens of California. But definitely RIP my sister, not even a year old in July 1999, but she would potentially be a casualty. But either way, I would definitely let the queen, aka President Yoru, take my life to save her. Not really, but whatever. Yeah, Yoru is technically immortal. Well, with 32 million lives to use. Either way, Yoru could just make another contract with another state or country to get more lives. But anyways, aside from that badass fight, we go back to Asa and Denji in the alley and find what or who Asa was looking for. Her mother. Now, people are discussing why Asa's mom looks like that, and I'll use this for speculation, but I'm gonna be honest, while she does look different from her debut, she always looked like Asa. Her eyes were always black, and exactly like Asa's black eyes. The only reason she looks different is because Asa looks different. It's not too deep, it's just a change of art style. So the speculation about if, that's Asa's mom or whatever, or why she looks exactly like Asa, isn't really that deep in my opinion. But speaking of speculating, let's get into it. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the potential that Asa killed her own mom. Some people have pointed out that Asa's memory shows her mom dying by getting crushed by a car, but Asa said in another panel that her mother was eaten by the Typhoon Devil. Now, this could just be a sign that Asa blocked out the truth and that she killed her own mother, or it could just be phrasing, as one could technically say that Asa's mother was eaten by the Typhoon Devil because the storm consumed her and not the devil directly. But you know, the reveal could happen, as we've seen seemingly not important stuff come out to be very relevant, like the brother of the fake Chainsaw Man. Though, I do have to say that this is kinda retreading old ground with Denji, as you know, he also killed his own father, but yeah. This theory of Asa killing her own mother could easily be applied to a lot of the theories I'm gonna be talking about, but the first one I'm talking about is not connected with the killing part, and I just wanted to talk about it, as it's not really one I believe in, but I thought about it. So what if that isn't Asa's mother, but Asa herself? Since I talked about how similar they were, why not this? What if what Asa was really looking for was her future? What would happen and how she wants to continue to live? And I don't really think that this is the case, cause it would be kind of boring. And to be honest, Asa's mom doesn't even have that much of an ass compared to Asa. I mean, look at it. But yeah, the next two are also ones I don't believe, but I think they're funny. And hey, if I'm right, I'll be a god. Or the future devil. But I came up with these joke ones from my DMs with Starkey the Goat. Go check out his Twitter for some cool Chainsaw Man threads. Oh, and also follow me too, cause why not? Also, he's been planning a theory video, so stay tuned until that comes out. And I'm bringing this to a bigger reach for you, Starkey, so that you're forced to work on and upload that video. But the first theory that, you know, I came up with was, what if Asa is a clone of Asa's mom? They look exactly the same, and the Fumiko reveal with the STD devil could have been set up for this, or even just the fire devil in general. Just think about it, the Clone Saga for Chainsaw Man. It'll be just as great as the Clone Saga from Spider-Man, which was totally not terrible and bad. Okay. The next one is time travel. Yeah, Asa travels back in time, adopts her baby self after her parents left, or maybe she's her own biological mother, or whatever. But what matters is that child Asa believes that future Asa is her mom. And the reveal will happen when Denji asks her name, or something like that, and Asa's mom says Asa. And the reason Asa never suspected it was because she thought that her mom named her after herself or something. Now, I don't believe this at all. I don't think that Asa's mom is a future Asa. But wouldn't it be kind of crazy? It's like that meme of Curry shooting a basketball from the moon or whatever. But I get it. You probably don't want to hear me talk about those shitty and definitely joke theories. Well, maybe you did, because they're just so stupid that they're entertaining. Anyways, I'm going to say that I'm not looking up any posts and stuff. Well, aside from one, and these theories are just general ones that people have theorized on. And the first one is the Fight Club theory. I can make a whole video on this theory, but I'll do a TLDR. And also spoilers for a movie that's 25 years old by the time of making this video, and hasn't even come out in Chainsaw Man canonically. So the TLDR is, it's all in the head. Yeah, this theory is about how Yoru or maybe even Asa aren't real, and that there was never another personality. But there are variations of this theory, like how Asa/Yoru was always the War Devil and the other didn't exist. Though a second personality does exist and is even shown physically, as the scar and the horseman eyes literally appear and disappear. The next one is practically the same, except that the Yoru or Asa personality was made up, like as a coping mechanism or something, like how it was from the Moon Knight show. Disney, please make another season or a movie. I really love that show, and you know, fuck off comic readers. I don't care if the show wasn't super accurate or whatever, I still loved it. Anyways, another variation of the Fight Club theory is that Yoru is the previous incarnation of the War Devil. I saw this as a post, but I don't know if I could find it, and if I do, I'll just put it on screen. Anyways, with having Asa/Yoru always being the War Devil, people thought that Asa's mom just adopted her. Kind of like how Naito was adopted. Just that the government/public safety weren't involved or aware of Yoru or Asa. and that the War Devil just took the personality of her mother. I don't really know. Let me know if you want me to do an in-depth video of this theory specifically in the comments below, assuming that the theory isn't instantly deconfirmed. And also, like the video and subscribe if you're enjoying it so far. The Fight Club theory isn't my personal cup of tea, but I think it's completely possible, and I wouldn't mind it if it was true. Anyways, the next one is kinda crazy. Like, people have thought that maybe Asa's mom was abusive with that one look she gave Asa at the end, or that her father, we don't know, was the abusive one, and that Asa merely blocked out those memories like Denji. But the even more fucked up version of this is that Asa's mom sexually abused Asa. Yeah, thank you a lot, Starkey, for sharing this to me. So check it out. I'll have it linked in the cards above. But the gist of it is that there are prevalent themes of sexual assault throughout the series, from Denji getting essayed by many women, to Yoru technically using Asa's body without consent to essay Denji. They also have said that this could represent Asa's loss of bodily autonomy, and that her mother was very controlling and manipulative. And a follow-up post was made about how Asa was searching for her mother because of how manipulated she was. And like how the abuse somehow came out and her mom was running away, but Asa was looking for her because, you know, she was all fucked up. But yeah, while this one is also retreading old ground, with a mother/mother-like figure sexually assaulting a protagonist, and just having an abusive parent, and that this could fit with the theory of Asa killing her own mother, like how Denji did it with his dad, this theory could easily be the most realistic possibility with the themes shown in the series. So don't be surprised if the abusive mother theory / the more specific sexual assaulter mom turns out to be true. And again, while this one will be treading on old ground, it could just be shown parallels about how Asa and Denji are, and that they're more alike than they thought, or, you know, something like that. However, the next one is honestly one I don't believe in, but would be the funniest outcome because of how much of a shit show this will cause. The Fire Punch theory. And I'm calling it the Fire Punch theory because of incest. I know people have compared this theory with what Fire Punch showed in the story, but I don't think people have specifically called this the Fire Punch theory like how I'm calling it. And, you know, if I had a nickel for every incest theory in this video, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Anyways, some people have said that Asa and Denji have the same mother. Whether they share the same dad or different dads could change it a bit, and here's my twist. They have the same mom, but Asa's dad is different and is Kishibe, which makes Hirofumi Yoshida Asa's brother. Okay. This version of it was just a bit too far. But some people have thought that what if child Denji calls Asa's mom, Mom? Like he recognizes her and is like, that's my mom, or whatever. Or another version could be that child Denji recognizes Asa's mom, but that's because Denji's dad was, you know, dating her or something like that. Or cheating on Denji's mom with Asa's mom, and Denji's dad is the father of Asa, but whatever. I don't think that this theory is the truth, but I also kind of want it to be the case with how much of a shit show the discourse is gonna be. Like, it's gonna be so fucking funny. I honestly can't wait to see the discourse if this one is true. Again, I don't think this one is true, but it would be really, really funny if that's the case. Also, a thing that could disprove this theory is the fact that Denji said that his mom died to a heart condition, and that Denji also had the same one as he was coughing up blood. But maybe Denji's quote-unquote mother was the mother who stepped up, and her heart problems was a devil attack or something. And that Denji and Asa still have the same mom. Or also, like I said before, another variation with Denji's dad being Asa's dad, while Denji and Asa have different moms. Again, I'm just repeating this. I don't believe this, even though it'll be really, really funny. But the very last theory I'll be talking about is No one knows the answer, and it's going to completely surprise us. Now, this one is just like Fujimoto could completely surprise us with the reveal, and none of the ones I talked about were correct. And I know that there's a bunch more theories out there, and that one person could have completely predicted it. But that's just how theorizing works. A bunch of people have ideas, and there's so many ideas that ultimately one becomes true. That's why I and many people have multiple theories or possibilities, cause more theories equals more chances of getting it right. So if you get one of them right, you feel like the future devil, even though you got 100 other predictions wrong. And if you only had one and that was correct, it's probably because you wanted to have a unique theory instead of the ones everyone was talking about. Also, even if the theory is right, there's like a 99% chance that it's not the exact same as the actual answer, but just the general idea. Another example is my original Fami, aka Death Devil video. I wasn't completely right. I barely got like 40 or 50% of the actual answer, mainly because we just didn't have the information. Though I still really appreciate all the support that video got since it's my most viewed video. So yeah, pretty crazy, and like some of those theories aren't that realistic and I made them up because why not? So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, let me know what you think the correct answer is in the comments below. And also, again, major thanks to Demencia for being a channel member. I really appreciate it a lot, and you could join Demencia by becoming a channel member yourself. Whether you want to spend $2 or $3, it's your choice. You get cool perks like emotes, a badge beside your name, a shout out, and more. Though, if you also want to help me out some more, you could always super chat me and send me a dono. Anyways, I really appreciate the support, so thanks for watching.